There was a place above the clouds, higher than the tallest trees, higher even than the bell towers of the old city below. It was called Skyspire, a stone perch carved into the very edge of a great cliff where the wind carried the scent of snow and sunlight, and the world felt quiet and wide. No one lived there except for one, Olwyn, the great owl of knowledge. Her feathers were bronze and pearl, and her wings stretched wider than sails. Her eyes sharp as moonlight had seen lifetimes. Some said she was older than time. Others said she had once flown to the stars. No one really knew for sure, but they did know this. Once a week, when the sun dipped low and painted the sky with gold, Olwyn opened her wings to a single child brave enough to make the climb. Not everyone could find Skyspire. It appeared only to those who carried a true question, not for power, not for fame, but for understanding. One day, a boy named Ellis saw the shape of the spire appear beyond the clouds. His heart beat faster. He had always been curious, always asking. But lately, he'd stopped asking out loud. The world was noisy. People seemed too busy to listen. And so he climbed. He climbed until the clouds parted, until the wind grew still, until there was nothing but stone, silence, and the beating heart of the sky. And there, upon the edge, stood Olwyn. She landed without sound, her wings folding in like a silk curtain. "Why have you come?" she asked, her voice low and steady. Ellis stepped forward. "I want to know how to be wise." Olwyn tilted her head. "A fine question," she said, "but one that must be earned. I will give you 3 tasks. Each one will show you something most forget. Do them before the sun touches the horizon again." Ellis nodded. "Then go," said Olwyn. "Your first task is this. Speak to someone who sees the world from below, and ask what they see." So Ellis climbed back down until he found the gardener who worked in the village square, always with her hands in the soil and her knees in the grass. He asked, "What do you see from where you are?" She smiled and said, "I see how roots grow quietly while no one watches. I see how small things become strong when they're tended gently. I see how patience changes everything." Ellis thanked her and climbed again. Olwyn was waiting. "Second," she said, "give something of value to someone who did not ask for it." Ellis paused, then removed his favorite scarf, the one his grandfather had knitted, and brought it to a boy who often sat alone at the market. He said nothing, just offered it with a smile. The boy didn't speak, but he wrapped it around his neck and nodded. Ellis turned and climbed once more. Olwyn stood at the edge of the sky, where the sun was beginning to lean west. "Last," she said, "sit where the wind is loudest, and listen not with your ears but with your understanding." So, Ellis walked to the ledge of Skyspire, where the air rushed fast and the world fell away beneath him. He sat. He didn't move. At first he heard only wind and clouds. Then, quiet thoughts rose up. He remembered things he hadn't noticed before. A kind word from a stranger. A mistake he had learned from. The feeling of his sister falling asleep on his shoulder during a storm. He let the memories come. He let them go. And then, he understood. He returned to Olwyn. "You have seen with another's eyes," she said. "You have given without being asked. You have listened beyond sound." She opened one great wing and revealed a single feather, bright gold, warm to the touch. "Take this," she said. "It will not answer your questions, but it will remind you to keep asking the right ones." Ellis placed the feather in his coat and looked down at the world below, so much smaller, but somehow more full. He didn't feel smarter, he felt clearer. And that, Olwyn said, was where wisdom begins. From that day on, Ellis still asked questions, but more importantly, he listened to the answers that weren't always spoken out loud. And high above, where the clouds swirled and the sky whispered secrets, the great owl of knowledge waited quietly for the next child who was ready to ask not just with their voice, but with their heart.